Hello, everyone, and welcome to Namaste Village. I am actually in, I guess, maybe the Portland satellite community here at my house. I'm still finishing up a lovely vacation. My granddaughter today, she and I are going to be going on a camping trip up into Washington. In fact, those of you who are at Namaste, tonight we're going to be staying at Daphne and Paul's house. That'll be really lovely to see some of our other beloveds. And I'm just so grateful to be able to be here right now and to share with all of you. So welcome to all of you wherever you are. And today we are going to talk about past lives. It's something that we've never talked about at our sessions, but I've been thinking about it and feeling into this whole idea of using our past lives to understand who and where we are now. And I'm sure many of you have probably had past life regressions. In fact, raise your hand if you've ever had a past life regression, or you've had interest in knowing who you were in the past and using that to determine who you are now or what lessons you've learned or need to learn. I'm sure many of you have had that experience. I've never actually had that experience. I've had some flashes maybe of some past life associations, but it's never really drawn me. The idea of knowing my past lives doesn't really interest me that much because I'm so focused on living life now, which is what our lesson is going to be about, that the past lives, well, as we're going to hear in this lesson, they can be helpful, I'm sure at a certain level or up to a certain point, but there does come a point, as it does for everything, where we need to let all of that go and come wholly into this present moment. So that's what we're going to share. And as most of you know, I've been writing some reflections while I've been here on vacation, and just allowing some of these thoughts and ideas to open up in my mind. So I thought I would share one that came through yesterday on past lives. And I wrote it out, so I'm going to put it up here on the screen so you can all see it. All right, here it is. So we're going to begin. And as you may know already, the title of this is Only Now Defines Who I Am Now. We're going to sear that one thought into our mind. Only now, right now, defines who I am now. Many people enjoy discovering and discussing their past lives. Past lives can be seductive, and they often claim our attention, but they also rob us of the deeper understanding, and here we go, that none of them were true. None of those past lives that we cling to or even depend upon, none of them were true. They were not your true life, since your true life, who you really are, has no beginning and therefore can have no end. Let's just pause there for a moment. Your true life, who you really are, and that all these past lives, including, and here's the real rub, including the life that you seem to be living now, none of them are your true life. Therefore, none of them are real. None of them represent that pulse of eternity that is within you this and every moment. And this is where we are putting our focus now. Before, we would put our focus not only on this life, what's happening, what we want, what we think we need, but also on our past lives, whether they existed or not. Of course, many of them are in our imagination. Maybe some of them did happen. However, none of them are who you really are. And this is simply about focusing now only on that. Who are you in the eyes of God? Who are you in heaven? The reality of you. So we begin there with that very challenging part of understanding that none of your past lives are true. So let's go a little further. What good does it do to focus on a series of past lives, thinking they define who you are now? I know your answer already. They help me define who I am now. That's what we usually think, that looking at past lives, it helps me to define who I am now or what my lessons are now, right? But here we go. That's where you're wrong. Nothing in the past, neither a past life or even what you think happened to you 3 weeks ago, none of it defines who you are now. And so here is the key. Say these words aloud and feel their impact. Only now defines who I am now. Only now, this moment defines who I am right now, here, in this moment. Just take a deep breath. See if you can feel that with me. This moment, the truth that is before me in this moment, this is the only thing that can define who I am, the truth of who I am right now in this moment. Nothing in the past, nothing in the future. This may be the most challenging statement we're ever going to hear, but this is the truth. And we're ready to embrace this truth because everything we need is right here, right now. Nothing that we don't need is here. That's in the past or the future. But what we do need, the truth of who we are, what we can share, what we can allow to blossom within us is right here, right now. And that's where the I am presence is. That's why that statement only now defines who I am now. This is the only reality we seek, the I am consciousness. Okay, let me go on. This is the simplest expression of truth anyone can offer you. Once again, only now defines who I am now. Sear that into your mind. Let it be the foundation of every thought that enters your mind and every expression you offer another. Let that be the foundation. Any concern about the past robs you of now. Let me say that again. We could also add future to that. Any concern about the past or the future robs you of who you are now. This is the beginning, the middle, and the end of the curriculum that we call life. Okay, so now you see that beautiful picture of Sri Nisargadatta. Excuse me, Sri Nisargadatta. One of these days I'll get that right. Nisargadatta, who said, I do not have the experience of myself at any time. Wow. I do not have the experience of myself at any time. I don't know myself in the past or the future. This is what we will all say when we experience ourselves only right now. This is the expression of timelessness, and it's the expression of any whole mind. Whole-mindedness is the ultimate goal, since nothing that is whole can experience or express what we think of as time. Time is the expression of separation because the past and the future can never be present now. Once again, time, linear time, that which seems to be going along that linear timeline is the expression of separation, not wholeness, because the past and the present, past and the future rather, can never be present right here and right now. The past is already gone and the future is yet to come, but the eternal now exists beyond the limits of time and space. And anything that exists beyond the limits of time and space is whole and complete unto itself. Do you see how simple this can be? I love that line because it reminds us that the truth is simple. It's right here, right now. That's all we need. It's not in the past, it's not in the future. I'm never going to find who I am. No past life or even the life I think I'm living now is going to teach me who I am now. And when we really truly embrace that, we come to the point that Sri Nisargadatta lived in and any other whole mind lives in, that they do not even have the experience of themselves at any time except for now, to be so fully present in the now. Isn't that the only goal? To know who I am now? Because then I can be fully available in every moment. I can be fully free in every moment to serve, to bless, to heal, not in and of myself, because in and of myself, I am nothing. But when I surrender into the now, I realize I'm everything. And everyone I touch is part of that everything. Okay, so once again, do you see how simple this can be? Simple, you say? This is anything but simple. But I promise you that the instant you let go of your need to use the past to determine who you are now, this will become the solution to every problem you ever thought you had. Once again, the instant you let go of your need to use the past or the future to determine who you are right now, then you will become the solution. You will become the solution to every problem that you've ever thought you had. Wouldn't that be wonderful? This is the experience that we talk about here every day. It's an experience that's beyond words. Maybe this one lesson can come close, but it's ultimately always an experience beyond words. Okay, you'll realize, not in your mind, but in your whole self, that the problem and the solution were in the exact same place, within you. Choosing this solution will be easy, and you'll wonder why it ever seemed difficult at all. Like this little picture of the light bulbs. It's like we've been going along, not getting it, and suddenly, boom, it lights up. And there you are. Once again, do you see how simple this can be? There's nothing that we need to do but surrender into this simplicity and to allow this grace to take hold. The grace that is always there, like air, like oxygen. It's like we've been holding our breath, not wanting to take a deep gulp of that life-giving air, oxygen, and we suffer because we're holding our breath for so long. All we're saying is relax, take a deep breath, and enjoy it, because it's all happening right now. So that's my little expression or meditation for the day, and I'm going to turn it over to Vicky. I'm looking to see if Vicky is out there right now. Vic, are you with us, or?
She's at the pool. She was gonna show up, but I'm not sure she knows what time it is actually.
Either that or she got sidetracked into being fully present in the now.
Probably true. She's with a bunch of her pool buddies, and they're having a party.
That's probably what it is. So that's all right. Teddy, I'm going to turn it over to you then.
Well, you know, I've always had to laugh at this idea. Since the entirety of it isn't a dream, it's an illusion. The best you can say, it's an illusion or a dream of having had past lifetimes. And if you go by what the Course says, since it's all over, it's an illusion of you can even remember your future lifetimes too, but none of it's going to be real. Now, that being said, everything that we have in our minds can be used by the Holy Spirit to help us awaken and to remember who we are so we don't have to do this again at all. And that's the purpose. That's why this isn't really a New Age teaching of, accumulating enough good karma so that in your next lifetime you have a better time or a better shot at something. It's a teaching of the past is gone, let it go. You're whole and perfect as God created you. Remember that now, and help your brothers remember that as well, because that's the end of the need for dreaming. And all lifetimes, present, past, or future, are part of a dream, which in reality does not exist. And that's the best I can say about it. I do understand. I mean, I've had glimpses of something of future and past lifetimes, but only when they were helpful to remember something so that I could learn something now to help me not have to repeat this one. And that's really what's going on. The past is over, forget about it. The future isn't here, forget about that. We have only now. What is your purpose? If your purpose is to awaken and remember reality, then past lifetimes and future lifetimes have nothing to do with the purpose other than to show you that you can keep doing this and continue to fail. And that's what we don't want to do.
Yeah. I love, Teddy, that you just had a siren go off in the background. And it reminds me of the moment when we really get this. And it's as if a siren is going off like an alarm clock. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. And a little while ago, it's 7 a.m. here, so it's a little bit earlier than that I would usually get up. But if I set the alarm and the alarm goes off, but I resist waking up, what happens? That alarm integrates itself into my dream, and it will integrate its past lives. It will integrate into what I think is my present life, and it will also integrate into what I believe to be my future lives. They've integrated and they become something in the dream. Let's say a fire truck or a police car that's parked in front of your house, wailing its siren, and you're looking out the window thinking, why is this police car running its siren in the middle of the street? Well, there is no police car. It's the alarm clock that you set. And that's one of the key things, is to remember that no one set the alarm but me. I set my alarm for 6:30 this morning so I can get up, I could be here, I could be present. I'm the one who said it. So there shouldn't be any surprise to me when the alarm clock goes off. But once again, if I resist it, it integrates into the dream. And so all of these past lives, future lives, whatever it is that I think is going on, all of it is meant for one thing: to awaken me to who I am now. And I'm going to have alarm clocks that are going off. This is an alarm clock. These lessons that we share here every day is part of the alarm. And it's the alarm that you set because this is the moment that you knew. There, I guess on some level in time and space, there does seem to be a moment in which we get this, even though even that's an illusion, because you've always had it. You don't need to get anything, but there comes a moment where that becomes apparent, and we use everything that is given to us for that moment. And this meeting or interactions you're going to have, maybe Vicky sitting at the pool right now talking to some of the other people there in the complex, that's all part of the awakening. It can all be part of the awakening if I allow it to be. So that's the key. I need to realize that everything that's happening to me is like that siren in the background reminding me this is the moment. It's time to wake up. Anything else you want to say about that, Teddy?
Oh, it is, it's true. Um, the only time there is now. Everything else is a memory. When you were reading, I hear the word define and definition as definitions define us. The minute we define ourselves, we're in a condition of separation and we're no longer perfect, but we're separate from something. We are defined. So all definitions are false. The truth is, the Course calls it a remembering. We're remembering the truth because it's always been in us, but it's been buried by things that have taken precedent over it. And the minute that we give precedence to the truth, those things can start to go away because they are not the truth, they are not eternal, and they are not who we are in reality. And that's the difference. It's a remembering of who we are in reality. So we no longer have to be defined by time and space.
Yeah. And just to welcome this. This is not bad news, folks. This is very good news. I'm not defined by anything in time and space, neither my past lives, my future lives, none of it. So it's fine. There's certainly nothing wrong, as Teddy said, with using some of these experiences to help spring me into the now, but don't cling to them. You know, it's funny how usually when people check out their past lives, there's someone famous or there's someone that had great importance. They're never the serf cleaning the toilet, or maybe rarely. And it doesn't matter anyway, whether you're a king or a serf, whether you're a servant or a prince. Be in reality who you are right now, which is the holy, perfect child of God. The truth of who you are and have always been and can't stop being, no matter how hard you try. And trust me, we've all tried very hard to change this, but the truth is unchangeable. You are unchangeable. The holiness, the light within you is wholly beyond anything that could ever possibly change, because you are held within the mind of God and you are safe within the mind of God, dreaming an impossible dream. But the siren is going off, the alarm clock has been set. This is it. This is the moment that you chose to awaken. And as we all know, when you stay asleep longer than you really need to, if you've slept for 10, 11 hours, the dream starts to get pretty crazy, because even the dream itself is conspiring to awaken you. Think about that the next time you turn on the news, or you think, oh my God, what's happening in the world? This is just the sign that you've been asleep a little too long. So wake up. Let this be the moment you choose this resolutely, because it has already chosen you. All you need to do is to say yes to that. And then the experience completely takes over. I can see you're getting it, Sharon. That's great. Sharon, do you want to, I love when you share as well, because your name's Sharon, share, they kind of go together. What are you feeling right now?
You know, I'm just thinking about stories, how we have so many stories about our life, even just in currently, about stories of illness, you know, my story in the future, my What About Love interview that's coming up, right? On the 23rd, I might add, is the airing
Right.
with Ann Wilson. And I was thinking last night, what am I going to say? And I'm thinking of a story about love, how I can incorporate that into the telling people out there, you know, and to awaken more people. And I'm thinking, it's a story, it's all a story. And it's just so amazing that all I have to do is what you said, is just let go. I don't have to think about what to say. It will come, or I might say nothing. And wouldn't that be shocking? So I'm so happy to see you back. And you know, I really enjoyed our last week. It's just been so collectively empowering, and to see you all show up as well, Alice and Bob and everybody, even in silence. I just feel you. And I just so grateful to for the power that we have. You know, the great book, Power versus Force. So you know, it is powerful to just think about being in the now, you know, to do nothing else other than to choose this again, what you say, like we're coming together collectively, and this will move mountains. It is the prophecy. We are awakening now. And you're right, it is getting crazy out there, and that's okay. That's a sign that the sirens are going off. And it's it's great joy it gives me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm going on. I'm sorry. Thank
That's all
you.
right. By the way, I want to give you kudos, because it ties into what we're saying here. So Sharon is referring to a song that she wrote for the great Nancy and Ann Wilson, a group that you may have heard of called Heart. And isn't this all about the heart? Isn't this all coming back to the center, which is our cosmic heart? So I think you set up this dream beautifully, Sharon. You wrote a very famous song for the group that comes closest to describing what we're all here for the heart. So congratulations on that. It's such a great celebration. We'll be thinking of you that day. All right. Let's take a deep breath for a moment. George, did you want to say something really quick?
Yes. While we're talking about this, what comes to mind to me is that when I graduated from high school, I think all high schoolers have a song, graduation song. Ours was To Dream the Impossible Dream. And I remember what a powerful song that was for me at the time. And now I look back at it, and with what we're talking about, to dream the impossible dream, most of us at that time were starting to have dreams of who we're going to be. What are we going to do? We're going to college, we're getting married, we're doing this, we're doing that. And we start defining ourselves by a dream of what we're going to do in our life. And to be able to let that go and be where we're talking about, just be in the moment and not worry about the future or anything else, and dream a better dream of being now.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we've been doing all along, is dreaming the impossible dream.
Yeah, definitely.
It's time to stop dreaming the impossible dream and wake up to the actual now, to this moment where we are fully present to the I am. You know, this is so exciting because it's all about just relaxing into this. We don't have to do anything. We just need to relax into what has always been true. And once again, this is all we do as a whole mind. We've been reading things by Sri Nisargadatta and other people, but it's in you. It's right now. It's happening. All we need to do is to relax into that happening. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to claim anything because it's already claimed you. And that's all we need to know. So I want to thank everybody who has been watching this on YouTube. We're going to go ahead and stop the recording now. The rest of you hang out for just a minute. But I love you all. It's so great to be able to share with you. So thank you for joining us.